How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Perfect. What do you think about Cosmos today?
What do I think about
Yeah.
Cosmos?
Have you heard something about Cosmos?
I don't know, man. What is Cosmos?
Yeah. What is?
What is it?
I think Cosmos is a place where you could find the freedom.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that is ultimately why we built this technology, right? Uh, yeah, no. I mean, we've been working on Cosmos for 9 years. It's great to see how far it's come. There's still so many parts of it that need improvement. Yeah, it's exciting. There's just always stuff to deal with.
Totally agree. What do you think about what's the like most interesting thing for now in Cosmos? What the problem it solves for now?
The most interesting thing, I think of crypto as basically having three products, which is leverage, yield, and permissionless issuance of volatile assets. That's basically what we do in crypto. We sell these three things. Cosmos, then the Cosmos stack seems to have a huge role, especially in like perpetuals market, which are like a major supplier of leverage into the markets. Um, Things like the liquid staking module and stuff like that are making yield products within Cosmos better. So we've always been sort of known for these high staking yields, but like Cosmos is becoming a place where better yield products can be. And then, asset issuance has also been a little bit hairy with Cosmos in general because, you know, lack, you know, there wasn't ever like a clear, easy way. But like now you have everything from like Stargaze is making more kinds of assets available, and like other marketplaces like Omniflix, etc. Uh, like I think you're going to see more asset issuance on top of Neutron and Osmosis. So yeah, I think like we are sort of doing a better job at all of the like sort of core value props of crypto, and then what we need to do to like is like the kind of stuff Sunny was talking about in his talk, which was actually make UX great, figure out how to like like I think a big part of the like vision that Sunny is like we need things like Telegram bots and stuff like that, really make an accessible user experience. But we're enormous amount of progress has been made in the last year.
Yeah, I agree. What do you work on for now?
I mostly work on Sommelier. So Sommelier's core product right now is yield products. We have some of the best yield products on Ethereum, and the TVO has been steadily growing.
Why it's different?
Why is it different?
Yeah.
So we use the Cosmos stack. Okay, so if you're a builder in crypto, what you should be drawing inspiration from is centralized exchanges, right? We should be trying to figure out how do we deliver the user experiences that have been popular on centralized exchanges in like a safe, decentralized mechanism. So the inspiration for building Sommelier was seeing the growth of things like BlockFi and Celsius. We were like, hey, people like this. These are great. People like the yield products. It's growing very rapidly. People are, but like obviously these things are going to run. Obviously this is going to fail, right? How do you build a system that provides that user experience but can't rug? That's what we built with Sommelier. So we have yield on ETH, we have yield on Bitcoin, we have yield on stablecoins. We are helping emerging assets like Go and Frax gain market share and adoption, and that's why it's growing.
Let's talk a little bit about you and your vision about the whole crypto things. What do you think will be the next big thing in crypto?
I think is going to be the next big thing in crypto. So I think, like I said, I think the journey I actually think we're like pretty much kind of at a critical point for user adoption. Up until this point, like it's actually been really hard to have any sort of decentralized app in crypto that was remotely competitive with like centralized Web 2.5 experiences. That's now mostly possible, and like things like availability of MPC wallets, account abstraction, intents, all of this stuff. Actually, the UX layer itself. We have plenty of block space. We have plenty of execution layer stuff. So now it's about actually, in many ways, probably partnering with centralized exchanges, but bringing DeFi and bringing on-chain experiences to the masses.
Probably that's what today Sani was talking about, right?
Yeah.
And
I think like we're ready technically now for mass adoption.
and we have to like.
But the question is now is like products, right? And like the core three themes of leverage, yield, and volatile asset issuance, I think will be a core element of what succeeds in crypto. But when you say those three things, there's like a huge design space of like many different flavors of all of those products and ways in which they can be remixed. So like you see friend tech as like a remix of yield and volatile asset issuance. Like every Twitter account becomes an asset issuer, and you're earning yield on like people trading your token, right? So you've repackaged the same product or like the same product themes in a new way. I think that there's like an infinite number of ways of repackaging these like sort of core pieces, and there will be ways of packaging it that really do enable sort of onboard millions, hundreds of millions of users.
So, what do you think a part of these yield instruments, and should we make some kind of Web3 things to, for example, applications to have an access to osmosis in case of some troubles?
What do you mean?
For example, imagine a situation which happened with Tornado Cash will happen with osmosis, for example. Do we have any like point of access to osmosis besides of?
Oh, like so if the front end is
Yeah.
censored? Yeah, no, I mean I think censorship resistant front ends is like a thing that I'm like really interested in. Like what can we do from an indexing point of view? What can we do from how do we distribute and authenticate that like the front end you're getting is the correct one? Like how do you actually authenticate all of the artifacts to deliver software in a way that becomes much less dependent on like a trusted URL?
One thing about you personally, how you get into crypto,
So
where you were before.
I used to do biotech. I spent 8 years building biotech products.
Awesome.
I might go back to it at some point.
Because of bear market.
Well, I mean, but like Sommelier is growing really quickly. Like, I mean, there's lots of work to do. There's lots of work to do in Cosmos. But I do see like sort of a light at the end of the, or like, like a place in which most of the big problems have been solved.
So we want to solve big problems.
Yeah, I like solving big problems. And like one of the things that I like about crypto that I couldn't get in biotech, right, is that like in biotech you don't meet your users. Like you don't go to a conference like this where there's, thousands of people who are like users of the software that you built, who love the software that you built, who build their own things on the software you built. You don't have that excited, passionate user base that like we've been able to get. I think and I really love that. And like whatever I do next, that has to be part of it.
Question from our videographer. What's your motivation to wake up? Like besides of crypto, what?
I just like building things. Like I like building things. I like talking to users. I mean, that's what motivates me.
Great. And last one thing, what do you recommend or like tell to those who will watch this video to join the crypto or not to join? What's the like first thing was interesting for you in crypto?
I mean, ultimately, so many people are able to come in and build, right? And I do think that like, while you can do lots of things and be a builder in crypto, I think what's exciting about crypto is that everyone can be a builder.